Hello and welcome. I'm Harish, and in this channel, we talk about building anything without coding. Today, we're going to see how you and I can run local models on our own devices. It can be our phone, it can be our laptop, it can be our Mac Mini, it can be our desktop, anywhere. A machine that you own and is not a cloud, where your models are your own. Let's jump right into it and see how to do this. Let's first understand what local models are and why you should probably consider doing this at all in the first place. Local models are basically artificial intelligence models or LLMs or SLMs, small language models that you can essentially download onto your machine like a file, and you can then start interacting with it fully on your machine. Why should you consider doing this? Here are some reasons that you should probably think about if this aligns with what you need, and then decide on if you want to do this and run this on your own machine. Right. First is privacy and data security. When you chat with global models, your data is not going to a cloud or not being sent somewhere else, but in fact, it is fully on your machine itself. The model is running on the machine. Your interactions are all sitting on your machine, and there is no internet required for running local models. Google has an app called Edge Gallery that you can download today on your phones and download local models and run them while you're on a train, while you're on a plane, anywhere, even if you have internet or don't have internet. Right? That's reason number one. Second, it is completely free. There are at least a million models or more today that are available for anyone to download and consume, fully free, right? You are not paying for a Go plan or a Plus plan or an Ultra plan to even chat with the model. Sure, the quality may differ, but there are cases of local models or small language models being significantly better at doing specific tasks or specific niche tasks as compared to a closed source model or a large language model that is based on the cloud where you have to pay to talk to it. Third is, let's say you want to customize and fine tune the model, which is making the model your own. It's actually easier to do it. Actually, best way to do it is with open source models or local models itself. And some other reasons, of course, are reduced latency, where model is sitting on your machine. So talking to the model essentially is faster as opposed to waiting for the request to go to the cloud and you get a response back and then you read it. It looks faster today, but I'm talking about millisecond difference. The last one is zero risk of model deprecation. Let's say the cloud platform or the model provider decides to remove a model that you were using and was working best for you. You have no choice but to upgrade to the latest model. In fact, in some cases, pay even more. But in this case, models are available everywhere, right? On Hugging Face, which is one of the most popular platforms for hosting these models. You can download it from there, sitting on your machine, anyways. There is no way it's going to disappear unless you delete it, right? So, these are some reasons why you should consider running local models. With that context set in place, let's jump into saying how to actually do this, right? There are five of my favorite options that I will tell you of platforms that enable you to run local models. First is Jan.ai. This gives you a interface like you can see on the screen. Very simple, straightforward interface. You can download this application and download models and run it fully locally on your machine, no internet required. And they have over 4 million downloads. Great uh, feedback from customers. And of course, they also have their own open source models as well. This is one tool that you can start using today. And of course, the tool itself is open source, so you can fully audit if you're a developer. Second tool that I have for you is from this company called Nomic, which has embedding models that are very popular called Nomic Embed. And this is their tool that lets you fully chat with your own dogs, your own data, download models fully locally, and run everything fully locally as well. Their application is called GPT for All. Third option that I have for you is called Ollama, one of the most popular tools in this spectrum. They also have a cloud offering and they promise they won't use your data, but you can download Ollama and run it fully locally on your machine without internet and without paying a rupee. Unless you want cloud, you have to pay for cloud. They also have free plans, but that is not the context for this video. So we'll get into that in the future if you ask for it. But yes, third tool is Ollama. Fourth one, and arguably, apparently, the most popular and fastest way to chat or run local models is llama.cpp. The links to all these tools will be available in the description below. You can run Llama CPP on any of these devices depending on which OS you are running. In my case today, I'm using Mac, so my tutorial will be on Mac. And the last one, but not the least one, is called LM Studio. One of my favorite tools. I switched from Ollama completely to LM Studio now. LM Studio is a desktop application, comes with GUI or also works in the terminal as well. GUI is basically graphical user interface, and here is what it looks like. You can download this on your machine. Once you download and install it, this is what it looks like, right? This is what you will see by default. There are three options: developer option, then there is LLMs that have been downloaded on your machine, and then the models catalog itself. This lists almost every single model that has been released. You can filter it out based on the platform. You can filter it out based on most likes or recently updated. You can see this one is from IBM. Then we have Gemma models from Google. I have a couple of models that I downloaded. This is where it will show up. To download the model, all you do is just search the model and download it here. On the bottom, you'll see a download button. And this is the size of storage that the model itself needs. So make sure your machine has this capability of storage first. And if you have a machine that is 8 GB in RAM size or VRAM on your GPU, I would highly recommend just running up to maximum of 1 billion or 3 billion parameter models. And if you have 16 GB, just increase that to about 12 million parameter model. And the more RAM you have, the bigger models you can run. That's how it works. So on my machine, that is Mac Mini M4, 64 GB RAM, I have these two models downloaded. Here you can see both these models have vision capabilities, which essentially means you can put image input to the model and it will give you a response. It can read images essentially. It also is trained for tool use. Now, if you want to give your local models ability to call the internet to get any latest data like weather data or data from any tools or platforms that you use at your companies internally, these models you'll have to look for that have enabled or are trained for tool use. Tool use enables you to call external tools. That's the meaning. Last one is of course reasoning. Both these models support reasoning, which means you can see the thinking of how the model is actually thinking before responding back to you. Right. Once you download the models, the second step is for you to load these models. Click on chat and select the model to load. Now I'm going to select Llama for E4B to run on my machine. MLX is Apple Silicon compatibility, a new framework for Apple Silicon by Apple itself, like you can see. And once the model finishes loading, you can actually start chatting with it. In fact, I'll quickly show you how to also customize this even more, right? Let's say I want to run Java 4. I can actually click on settings and go to load and change the context length that I want for this model to take. You can maximum do this context length, and you can also minimize this if you don't have that capacity on your machine. You can also enable KV cache quantization. You can enable random seed for deterministic inference, which means if you want more reliable answers from AI, I would recommend you increase this or enable this, right? And then you can also customize the system prompt on how this model should behave. You can add custom fields. You can do everything pretty much and customize to the last spec available through just this settings now. And once you finish customizing, you have to load the model again if you've already loaded it before. Now, once the model loads, this is what you will say. Click on new chat and ask it what you want it to do. Just say my prompt on the right, like you can see the system prompt is saying, I want the model to act like a senior Python engineer and respond back, right? I'm going to say act as a philosopher and respond back to those questions. In fact, you can also say the token count here of the prompt itself. Now, if I ask what is the meaning of life and send a message, before I send a message, I'm going to show you I'm disabling my internet. No internet connected. You can see there is no LAN connected. Will this really work? Let's send and see what happens. It absolutely works. You can see how the model is thinking, and you will also see the response coming from the model itself fully locally on my own machine. There is no data transfer anywhere else. There is nothing going out of my system. I'm running all of this on my machine itself. And that's how you can also run models fully locally on your machine. Use any of these tools, try them out, see which one you're satisfied with, and then start using it. That's how simple it is. In fact, one more customization before I wrap this video up is for developers. If you're a developer, this is what you'll have to see. If not, you can end this video. If you're not a developer, if you're a developer, you can actually run inference or run models through an API endpoint fully locally on the machine itself. All you have to do is just change the status to running and you will have an endpoint. These endpoints are OpenAI compatible or Anthropic compatible. If you already have existing applications that you have built around these compatibilities, you can actually replace the base URL with this and start getting inference from the models that you loaded. But remember, you'll have to load a model for this to work. And with tool use, you can also use MCPs. You can pretty much do everything that you can do with a closed source model. And that's how you run models fully locally on your own machine. I hope this video was helpful. And if you found this helpful, drop a comment below and also drop a like to this video and share it with your friends who may need it. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.